Welcome friends if you are new to the channel. Welcome back if you are returning members. Today we are getting started on a Nissan Skyline repair in our Car Mechanic Simulator Let's Play. Now I have already gone through the process of scanning the car and examining it. I know of 3 parts that we need to most definitely replace. One being a Type C fuse, and 2 being ignition coils. Now, we also have body work to do on the Skyline, but before we get to that, let's come over here into our warehouse. Where I already know that we have a Type C fuse. Now, I am well aware that Nissans may not be to everybody's liking, and that's okay. I do have a whole bunch of mods installed, so I should be able to have a car for everybody's liking. Now, I also already know that I do not have ignition coils in inventory for this car, or, well, in inventory in general. So we are going to go ahead and come into electronics, and we are going to purchase 2. I also know there is an idler roller that needs to be changed, but this is what we're looking at the moment of what is known. We need to change an idler roller B. We need to fix the starter. We need to change the water pump pulley. Now it's going to tell us cam gears and a belt tensioner, but what it doesn't tell us is more than likely the timing chain is going to need to be replaced. So we are going to expect to have to replace the timing chain. We also have all these body parts that we need to change. So we're going to start off by getting the body parts off the car. Car part 3 is most likely the exhaust. We have left side mirror and left tail light. And let's just check. The wing is car part 2. And there we go. Car part 3 is exhaust. Now we need to take off the rear bumper, the right fender, the right body window, the right side mirror, and the right tail light. So let's grab the rear bumper while we're here, the rear right fender, the right body window, the right side mirror, and the right tail light. So now we can go into our inventory, and we know that tail light is not going to be repairable because it's under 12 or it's under 15%. Glass is hardly ever repairable, so we'll add that to our list. And the right rear fender is not repairable because it is under 15%. So with that, let's go ahead and repair what we can repair. It only needs to be 45% as per what the customer would like. But because we are so far along with our ability to repair, everything we repaired was repaired to 100%. So let's go in here, wrong one, and we need to find the Skyline. Second row all the way to the right, and let's just start purchasing the parts we need. Okay, with those purchases out of the way, let's go ahead and get the body squared away. So now we go in and check, and all of our body stuff is done. So now we're going to go back to disassemble mode, and what I want to do is I want to get this car up in the air, and because we still have parts not found, I want to drain the oil and I want to check to see if it needs any rod caps, if it needs any crankshaft bearing caps, that kind of thing. Right now the car cannot be started, even if we were to change out those two pieces. So let's look And judging by what I am seeing, all the caps look good. So we don't have to do anything there. While we are in this mode, we do need to change the oil filter. So we'll go ahead and put that on our list. We need to repair the starter. We have those 3 parts. I do know where this rubber bushing is. I was able to pick that out just visually. So we will get to marking that here in a minute to get the new bushing. But what we want to do is we want to get started on taking this engine apart. And unfortunately, it's not going to let us do so from underneath. So we need to drop the car back down. So the 2 ignition coils we need are right at the front of the motor. So we will pop those out. And then before we go any further, we want to drain the coolant from the car. And while we are here, this is our bad rubber bushing. That we know of. So let's go ahead and start pulling the front of this motor apart. Our water pump looks good. That was the belt tensioner that I just pulled off. Let's go ahead and add the water pump pulley to our buy list. So this doesn't have a timing chain, but it does have a timing belt. Well, that says a serpentine belt. And that is good. So we'll take that off. That camshaft is good. And that camshaft is good. So now, what we want to check that's not going to come up through exam mode is camshaft bearing caps. And we can already see we have one here that is bad. So we're going to take that out. And we have one here that is bad. So we're going to pull that out. And now, as you can see, for general engine control and repair, we have found all the parts. But as far as tapping sounds from the engine bay goes, there are still 2 parts not discovered. Those could be anything. And we will have to get the rest of the engine torn down. Or, well, not the engine, but we will have to get the repairs done in order to be able to start the car and run it on our test path. Yes, you may be saying, why aren't I buying everything that's on the list? Well, even though some of this stuff is for a Skyline, it is not for the one we are working on. Okay, with that done, we never did mark the cam gear, so let's go ahead and get a cam gear. And let's start getting this motor back together. Now this was our bad idler roller. Now, if I were to do this kind of a repair in real life, would I put refurbished parts on the car? I would try not to. I would do my best to put actual new parts on it. But that is because these cars are highly sought after Japanese cars. The reason they are, for the most part, so highly sought after is because of the movies Too Fast, Too Furious, and above. Now we do have some parts we can go and try and fix. We don't need the V8 starter, but what we do need is that. So now, let's jump back in here. Let's go back to assembly mode. And this engine's going to be a pain in the butt because we're not going to be able to get the oil filter put on from inside the car. So we need to lift it back up. Yeah, it's going to be a real pain. Now, typically you wouldn't fill a car with oil without having the oil filter put on the car. But remember, this is a game. And actually now, since we have the car in the air once again, what I do want to check out is there's one or two parts underneath that transmission that do not show in examination mode. One being the throwout bearing, which looks to be good. And I believe the other is either the flywheel or the clutch plate. Clutch plate looks good. And even though the flywheel looks a bit rusty, the flywheel is good. So we will go ahead and throw this all back together. But that'll tell us two things. That once we change out the medium fuse type C, the car should run. Now we're going to go back to part disassemble mode. And you can tell just by looking at this shock absorber that it needs to be changed. There is a rear suspension cap that needs to be changed, which is going to be over on the passenger side. Nope, that's good. So we'll put that back on. Oh, it was a wheel hub bearing and the sway bar end link. So now what we need to do is mark that sway bar rear end link. And then let's go. It won't let us go to exam mode as we are right now. But before we put that rim back on, just in case it so happens to be that wheel, and we cannot see it. Okay. So in this case, what we are going to do is we are going to go and we are going to mark it. So it is not our right rear, it is our left rear that we need to change as far as the wheel hub bearing goes. So in this situation, I will tell you a lot of the times in this game, the parts you need to repair is not usually where you want it to be. Okay, with all of that being done, we are going to get oil and coolant back into the car after we change out this fuse. This way we can go run the car on the dyno, or the test path, and figure out the rest of the suspension rattles. Does that mean that we will get an answer to what's left in the tapping sounds in the engine bay? No, but maybe. So with all of that done, and talking with y'all, I forgot to put the rubber bushing back in the car. Now, our seating position in this particular car is a little off. As you can see in the right side corner, there is the steering wheel tachometer, the fuel gauge, and what is the speedometer. So we know our right front has got some kind of brake work that's going to need to be done. We have a small rubber bushing which is in the back. And unfortunately, this didn't give us everything we needed to know. Because we still have two parts not discovered there. And then we have the small rubber bushing. And to make it easier on us, we're going to mark that small rubber bushing. And then we're going to come in here. And there's our rubber bushing right there. So now we have all of that figured out, but we still have those two pieces in the engine bay. What could they be? Well, there's only certain things that the car does not reveal as an examination. We already know that everything that is visible is good. That's good. The fan's good. Generally, the steering rack does not show. So that could be one of them. But what we are going to do is we are going to take the car to the test path or the test track. And because we are going to do that, I am going to pause the recording here, go to the test track, run it around, and then come back. And we are back from the test track. And unfortunately, from what I saw as the results of the test, it did not show me anything. Yeah. So, I am going to unfortunately have to call this episode here. as I am going to have to do a lot of pulling of parts in the engine bay. To figure out what is left Oh, you know what? It could have to do with the shock towers on this car. Let's get it back up in the air real quick. Because the shock towers aren't part of those items that are shown when examining. Nope, nothing there. And let's just go ahead and the car's gonna need an alignment anyway before it goes out. Nope, it looks like that's all good. So all of that was good. But let's go ahead that wheel bearing is good. And we can start reassembling what we just took apart. I do apologize if I am not as talkative as I should be. It is after 5:30 in the morning where I am. That bearing is good. And those are good. This intercooler looks good, and it is. So we'll go ahead and put that back on. Well, it's not showing a value on the head. So that's all good. And that's all good. The head could very well be bad. But we will leave that for another video. As I said, with 2 parts still remaining for the tapping sounds from the engine bay, we are going to leave this video here. I am just taking a quick scan, and there's nothing new that we haven't worked on in the call orders. So, if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment, as those 2 actions highly help the algorithm know to push my videos. With that being said, if you did enjoy this video and you haven't yet hit that like button or left a comment, please do so, and consider subscribing if you are not. With that, I wish you all a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are, whenever you may be watching this. Have a good day.